Hi folks, we're going to look at an example of solving a linear equation with fractions in it. Okay, so one way to solve this equation is to do what we've been doing before, which is to just simplify both sides of the equation and solve for x. So that would mean, distributing the 2/3 to both of these terms here and then adding and subtracting the like terms and so on. Problem with that is it means almost all of your operations are going to involve working with fractions. Okay, so another alternative is to change this equation with fractions into one that doesn't have any fractions. And you do that by eliminating all the denominators. Okay, so you have to find a number that's going to eliminate the denominators in this equation. But you have to be careful because it's an equation. Anything you do has to be the same on both sides. So it's not like I can just multiply this one by 4, this one by 3, and this one by 2 to eliminate all the denominators. I have to find one number that's going to eliminate all the denominators. So something that will reduce with 4, with 3, and with 2. Okay, so that's where we'll have to find the lowest common denominator. Okay, might as well work with the simplest possible number here. Okay, so 4, 3, and 2. Okay, think about it a bit and you realize, well, the lowest common denominator is going to be 12. Okay, so what we do is we multiply 12 to both sides of the equation. Now notice here I said both sides of the equation, you have to multiply 12 to the whole left side, to the whole right side. To really emphasize this is why I use brackets, to show that I'm multiplying the whole side by 12. Now since we're doing operations on fractions, you can think of this as multiplying by 12 over 1. Just writing 12 as a fraction. I don't necessarily expect to see this, but if it does help you go through the process of multiplying the fractions, then go ahead and include that. Okay, so on the right hand side, nice and easy, because you just have a multiplication of two fractions, so 1/2 times 12 over 1. So first I simplify before multiplying, and 12 and 2 simplifies to 6 over 1. So I'm just left with 1 times 6 is 6 over 1 times 1. Well, that's just 1, so I'm not going to bother writing the over 1. Okay, so on the left hand side, okay, it's a little more complicated because I've got two terms on this left hand side. So in order to multiply them by 12, I have to perform a distribution. So I have to distribute the multiplication by 12 to both terms. Okay, so let's do the first one here. So I've got 12 times 1/4 x. Okay, and then minus 12 times 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, so I have to multiply to both terms on that side. Okay, so the first one here, well, I multiply the two numbers together. So 12 times 1 over 4. Again, I'm going to simplify. So 12 over 4 is the same as 3 over 1. So I'm just left with 3 times x in this first term. Okay, so look at that. I've eliminated the denominator. Let's look at the second one here. So here we've got minus. So let's multiply the numbers. Okay, so you got 12 over 3 reduces to 4 over 1. Okay, so here I'm left with 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, times x minus 2. Okay, and then again here we have equals 6. So what we've managed to do now is we've managed to take this equation, which started out as one which contained lots of fractions, into an equivalent equation that contains only integers. And now from here we can solve as we did before. Okay, so let's simplify the left hand side. So first I have to perform this multiplication here, so 3x. So I distribute the -8 to both terms, so that's minus 8x plus 16. Nothing to simplify on the right hand side, and now I collect all the x terms on one side and all the numbers on the other side. So 3x minus 8x is -5x. Okay, and I subtract 16 from both sides of the equation, so 6 minus 16, remember, opposite operation. So I'm left with -5x equals 6 minus 16 is -10. And so the last step now is to divide both sides by -5. Again, opposite operation. So -10 divided by -5. And so x is equal to 2. Okay, so again, when you see an equation that's got lots of fractions, what you probably want to do is multiply both sides by the lowest common denominator. Okay, carefully simplify all the fractions and then solve the equation as you